Hark, and lend me your ears. My name is William Shakespeare, and perhaps you've heard a tale or two about me. They call me a bard, a poet, a man of the theater. But before all that, I was simply a boy from a small town called Stratford-upon, with a mind brimming with stories and a heart overflowing with words. I came into this world in April of 1564, a time of great change in our England. My father, John, was a diligent glover, who rose to become the mayor of our town. My mother, Mary Arden, hailed from a family of landowners. I was the third of 8 children, our home a lively stage of laughter, tears, and countless stories shared by the fireside. Like many boys of my time, I attended the King's New School. There, I learned Latin and discovered the great classical poets, like Ovid, whose words set my imagination ablaze. They danced in my mind, painting vivid pictures of gods and heroes, of great loves and heart-wrenching tragedies. I didn't know it then, but I would spend my life trying to capture that same magic with my own quill. Youth, as it always does, flew by. At 18, I married a wonderful woman, Anne Hathaway. She was a little older, but love, as you know, pays no mind to the calendar. Soon, our family blossomed with the arrival of our daughter, Susanna, and then our twins, Hamnet and Judith. Life in Stratford was peaceful, but a restless spirit within me yearned for something more. The stage was calling my name. And then, my friends, come what many call the lost years. The time between my twins' birth and my appearance in London is shrouded in mystery. Some say I was a country schoolmaster. Others whisper I fled Stratford after a spot of trouble. Let's let imagination fill in those gaps, shall we? The important thing is that when I finally arrived in London, I was armed with a fierce determination to conquer the world of theater. Ah, London. What a vibrant, chaotic, glorious city. It was a melting pot of ambition, a place where dreams were chased on every corner. And at its very heart was the theater. I began as an actor, treading the boards, feeling the electric energy of the audience. But my true calling was writing. The stories brewing inside me demanded to be told. So, I began to write. At first, I penned comedies like The Comedy of Errors and The Taming of the Shrew, plays to make folk laugh and forget their daily troubles. Then, I turned to the grand history of our nation, with plays like Richard III and Henry V, exploring the power and politics that shaped England. And of course there was love, always love. In Romeo and Juliet, I told a story of 2 young lovers caught between feuding families, a tale that has, to my great surprise, echoed through the centuries. With success came new ventures. I became a partner in an acting company, the Lord Chamberlain's Men, which later, under the patronage of King James I himself, became the King's Men. Together, we built our own playhouse, the Globe Theatre, a magnificent wooden O where my words could truly take flight. What a magical place. Inside the Globe, everyone, from the humblest groundling to the wealthiest lord, shared the same experience, laughing, crying, and holding their breath as my stories unfolded. But life is not all comedy. It has its tragedies, too. In 1596, a profound sorrow struck my family. My only son, Hamnet, passed away at just 11 years of age. The grief of a father losing his child is a bottomless chasm, and that sadness marked me forever. Perhaps it was this pain that led me to explore the darkest corners of the human soul and my great tragedies. It was in this period that I wrote Hamlet, the story of a prince, tormented by revenge. To be or not to be, that is the question. A line that seems to capture the doubt we all face. This was followed by Othello, a tragedy of jealousy. King Lear, the tale of a king driven to madness by betrayal. And Macbeth, the dark and bloody story of unchecked ambition. In these plays, I tried to unravel the great mysteries of the human heart, its capacity for both greatness and ruin. Beyond the stage, poetry was my private refuge. I composed 154 sonnets, small poems where I explored the themes of love, beauty, time, and mortality. They were my intimate reflections on life itself. As the years went by, my success in London allowed me to secure my family's comfort, purchasing the second largest house in Stratford, a home we called New Place. Despite my busy life in the capital, my heart always remained in my hometown. Around 1610, I decided it was time to go home. I had told so many stories, lived so many lives upon the stage. It was time to rest, to enjoy the company of my wife and daughters in the quiet tranquility of the countryside. I departed this world on April 23rd, 1669, my 52nd birthday. As fate would have it, I left behind my family, my friends, and a legacy of plays and poems. Thankfully, my dear friends and fellow actors from the King's Men gathered my works and published them in what is now known as the First Folio, ensuring my stories would not be lost to the winds of time. And so, here I stand before you, in spirit, a man from Stratford who ventured to London and, with little more than a quill and an inkwell, tried to give voice to the joys and sorrows, the dreams and fears that connect us all. If my words still move you, if my characters still make you feel, then my journey was not in vain. For as I once wrote, all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. And I, my friends, was privileged to be its storyteller. Thank you for listening to my tale. If you enjoyed this journey through time, do consider liking this video and following our channel for more stories from history. Until we meet again.